50 years after his death, legendary Bengali filmmaker Ritwik Ghatak is relevant all over again. This is thanks to the special intensive revision exercise that was carried out in West Bengal. And global conflicts are giving new meaning to films like Meghe Dhaka Tara, Komal Gandhar, Subarno Rekha. Now, a discussion was held around Ghatak, his life, his times, his cinema, in Kolkata recently by the Kolkata Partition Museum Trust at the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute. The discussion saw participation by author Shyamdas Gupta, by poet and author Maitreyi Bhattacharya Chaudhary, and it was moderated by Rituparna Roy. Now, Shyamdas Gupta has recently come out with a book of essays on Ghatak. Now, it's a book of 50 essays by 50 writers on the legendary filmmaker. Dasgupta said at the event that the book was so well received, not just in Kolkata and the rest of Bengal, but in places like Delhi and Kerala, that he could have probably had 50 more essays by 50 more writers. And Dasgupta said, Ghatak was not as popular as Satyajit Ray. So in his centenary year, if an event was not, the event like the one they were participating in, was not held in Kolkata, perhaps nobody would have missed it. But the fact that the event was being held and the fact that his book was so well received point to the fact that Ghatak is still relevant. And Dasgupta said it's not just about the SIR exercise, but he said if you put your finger anywhere on the world map today, what will you see? You will see conflicts, you will see wars, you will see suffering, human suffering, and mass migration. And these are the very topics that Ghatak dealt with in his cinema so many years ago. And the cinema is relevant again, not in film schools, not just in film schools, not among lovers of his cinema, but for a much wider audience today. Now, Maitreyi Bhattacharya Chaudhary said that there is this sense of Ghatak that he was popular mostly in and around Bengal and in film societies among film critics. But surprisingly for many, Ghatak, Chaudhary said, was very popular in several states of the Northeast because there was a sizable portion of the Bengali refugee population that had migrated to the northeastern states. And Chaudhary said that she herself comes from such a family, and growing up, she thought that Ghatak was so popular in those places that he was almost like the Northeast Jamai or son-in-law. Now, Chaudhary is also coming up with a book on Ghatak. It's a book of fiction based on a real event when Ghatak had to spend time in a mental asylum in Calcutta with poet Binoy Majumdar. And this book, which will come out soon, deals with the exchange between Ghatak and Binoy Majumdar. And Chaudhary said that there were commonalities between between these two mad geniuses. For one, they were both alcoholic and mad, but also because they were so passionate on the issue of partition. In fact, she said that Binoy Majumdar used to walk, had walked across a river and crossed over illegally without a visa to Bangladesh once and stayed there for a month before he came back. And this was without a visa. Ghatak, Rituparna Roy, who moderated the session, said that he's often known for his cinema and for alcoholism, but there was so much more to the man, and which needs to be explored. And academic Sanjay Mukhopadhyay, who is an expert on Ghatak, who spoke at the event, said that perhaps you need a new language to understand Ghatak and his cinema. He terms that system of understanding Ghatak Ritwik Tantra.